Welcome to the Franchise Minute. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. Today's topic is exit strategies, and our special guest today is Peter Bartman with Verlo Mattress. Peter, welcome.
Thank you so much, Anna.
I'm so glad you're here. You and I have known each other, I think, 2 decades. I've been in franchising for 20 years, and I think I've known you the entire time. So,
Yeah.
Peter, it's about time you starred on our podcast.
Well, I'm happy and proud to do it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you. Well, to start us off, Peter, tell us a little bit about you and Verlo Mattress.
Sure. Well, I've been in franchising for a long time, 36 years. Apologize for the sound. I had a surgery recently, but anyway, 36 years, and about half that time was in operations, and then I moved over to the franchise development side because I realized just how important it is to get the right franchisees into a brand.
Mhm.
It's getting the right franchisee in for them, but also for the franchisor, and just matching the right franchisees with the right.
Absolutely. Hmm.
So, um, and I've been a senior leader in operations for many years, and then got into the franchise development side, and just absolutely love it, and work with a lot of brands. I'm a part of Brand One, and we are very choosy about the brands that we'll partner with. Uh,
Hmm.
and we fell in love with Verlo for a lot of reasons. Number one, the team. Um, the the Verlo team is run by the Marcus family, and they're the most humble billionaires you're ever going to be. Yeah, they're the nicest people, down to
Hmm.
earth, super smart. They have all the resources in the world to build Verlo the right way. Verlo was originally they bought the Verlo recently, and so that's what's kind of exciting. Verlo's been around for a long time, but
Yep.
now it's got the franchise firepower of the Marcus family behind it. Um, and the Marcus family really saw something very, very special in Verlo because they're very particular as well. And what they saw was a unique value proposition in a gigantic industry. Everyone sleeps on a mattress. But what Verlo offers is a custom solution for customers at a much, much better price. And
Hmm.
the unit economics for franchisees is unbelievable. And so we've attracted some un, incredibly sophisticated people to the
Right.
Verlo brand. So it's
Hmm.
been exciting.
Well, thank you, Peter, for that, overview of Verlo Mattress and your background. And Peter and audience, now we're going to watch the Franchise Minute video, and then Peter will help explain. I'll ask some questions, and Peter, you help explain to the audience exit strategies that franchise business owners have. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Franchise Minute. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist, and today's topic is exit strategies. The most common exit strategy for franchisees is to sell their businesses. And this can be done a number of ways. Often it's done as an inside sale to a family member, like an adult child, or to a key employee, like the general manager. Naturally, it can also be sold on the open market. Start the process by knowing when you, the owner, want to exit the business. Then get your business ready to sell and do this well in advance of your planned departure. This often involves meeting with your CPA. At this point, you'll want to identify and make any financial performance improvements to your business. Then, ideally, once you and your business are ready, then you can market the business. And your CPA and franchisor can help you in developing a sales price for the business. Thanks for joining. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist, and come back next week to learn more about franchises. Peter, I'd like to start our discussion off by telling you about a niece of mine who is the rock star standout employee where she works and has been for years. And the owners of the business have approached her about taking over the business when they are ready to retire. They're already grandparents, they've been in the industry for decades, that sort of thing. So the timing's right. They've identified an inside person. She's very excited and eager about it. And what's interesting is, just to give you the example, it's a bridal salon. So the owners own the building, and of course the business housed in the building. So tell us your comments and share a little bit about what you think about that scenario.
I see that a lot of times, particularly in brick and mortar type businesses, even service businesses. But you'll see somebody come up through the ranks. You'll see an employee, and it's a Cinderella story. And the owners have a connection with this person. They've seen this person rise to do things and build within their organization, and they want to encourage that, and they trust that person.
Right.
When you get into a business, it's not just a thing; it becomes a part of you, and it's something you care deeply about, and you want it to be
your
taken
baby.
care of. Yeah, you want it to be taken care of.
Baby, right?
Yeah, and so I think that's where your niece has a huge advantage, because she knows and understands the culture. She knows and understands the mission, and she's going to take good care of that baby. And
Excuse me, Peter, and also she's got relationships with the vendors, with the customers, with the existing employees. I mean, it's just really an ideal scenario. Now, one thing that you've pointed out to me before, Peter, is talk about the real estate play that is inherent in a scenario like that for the original owners.
Yeah. So in a situation like that, where you're getting somebody from the inside, oftentimes it may be that person may lack the capital to be able to make the investment, but they have the blood, sweat, and tears, and they're connected to the business, and they have the relationships. That can create a bit of a passive income in a couple of ways. One, it might be that you don't get this big paycheck. Maybe they buy in, so they've got skin in the game, and then over time they've got a loan, that they're paying off, or maybe it's a percentage of the business. But in addition to that, a lot of people will have a business, particularly brick and mortar, and then over time, at some point, their accountant may tell them, "Hey, you need to show some losses here. You've made too much money this year, and so you need to write some things off." And so they'll say, "Buy the building." And so you'll see that happen with a successful franchisee. Will buy the building, and later on, when they sell their business, they become the landlord. So they get bit money for the sale of their business, but then they also have this passive income from, as a landlord, renting it out to the person they sold the business to.
Yeah, that is really a win-win for both the new owner and the original owner. So that's fantastic. Now, one of the things that, kind of an analogy that I use, Peter, when I'm talking to franchise candidates, is it's just like getting a house ready to sell. It's a process. And when do you suggest, and of course, neither of us are CPAs or anything like that. We strongly recommend you meet with your financial advisor, your CPA, your professional team. But in general, what have you found to be very helpful for a timeline when to start thinking about it?
Ideally, you would begin to work with your accountant on making the business favorable for sale 3 years out.
Yes, I've seen that as well. That's been my observation. It's kind of a 3-year process.
Yeah. So what you want is, ideally, particularly with a more sophisticated business, is a 3-year rolling. So you've got an EBITDA. You've got 3 years of EBITDA, and then you'll take some
positive cash flow. Just to explain to the audience, EBITDA that's an accounting term.
Yeah, so it's basically profit. It's earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. And you'll want to get that, a 3-year average of that and then there'll be some multiple of
Mm-hmm.
that 3-year average is
Mm-hmm.
generally what makes for a usual valuation.
Right. And I tell you what, that's what I learned in my business school classes many years ago. You're buying the cash flow from the business and then at a multiple.
Yep.
So, first, figure out. So, I'm going to kind of recap what you said, Peter. So, first, let's have the owner figure out when they want to exit.
Yep.
And as a franchise advisor, I help people. I mean, we
Mm.
spend a great deal of time focusing on what's a right fit and getting into the business. But also, part of that discussion and consultation is when you want to get out of the business and how to get out. Some people want to sell it, and that can be a nice lump sum that they can add to their nest egg when they retire. Some people want that real estate play where they can sell the business and be a landlord and still have some passive income coming in from a new owner. They may partner with an adult child, et cetera, et cetera. So there's several ways to do it, but the point I'm making is it's a process and probably a multi-year process. So figure out, for the driver, is when does the owner want to exit? Then next step, as you said, Peter, is meet with your CPA and identify areas needing to improve the financial performance of the business. Just like when you want to sell a house, right? You figure
Mhm.
out, well, where do we need to paint? What do we
Mhm.
need to replace? What about the roof? All those sorts of things. Any other comments that you have about, I mean, it could be a change
Yep.
in equipment, I
Mhm.
mean, technology, vehicle upgrade, or
Mhm.
defer even maybe maintenance on some things because you're going to
Yeah.
be selling it soon. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times, if you have a business that's doing well from an income standpoint, if you have no plans to sell it, you should try to find as many expenses as possible that are legitimate expenses to reduce your taxable income. So it's not what you make; it's what you keep.
Right.
Um, and
Great
so,
point.
it's prior to selling, you're going to try to make as little as possible on paper. But then when you decide that you want to sell, you know, um, you want to make as much as possible. And
Right.
so a lot of these improvements you'll want to happen beforehand. You'll want as many write-offs as you can during those
Mhm.
years, and to do those improvements prior to the 3-year, rolling, running average.
Well, that was very helpful. I'm glad that you explained that. And Peter, we've run out of time. So if anyone wants to learn more about Verlo mattress, what do you recommend they do?
Well, I actually recommend that they talk to you, Anna. So part of the thing is, if you're looking at houses to buy, you don't walk into a house and say, you know what, oh, this house has everything I want. Yeah, I'm going to buy it. You don't you look at a couple of houses? Well, what Anna does
Or
is
more?
one more, right? So to get a sense for what you really want. So Verlo may or may not be the right opportunity for you, but and even if it is, you'll feel better about that decision if you check out a bunch of other houses. And that's what Anna can do for you, is she'll put you know, walk you through a bunch of houses so that you can figure out what's right for you and your family.
Right.
And
Mhm.
my house is Verlo, and I think it's a great house.
It is a great house. I will admit out loud that I am indeed a fan of Verlo mattress. It's a manage the manager business model. It can be a great fit for the right person.
That's right.
And Peter, thank you so much for joining us. This is Peter Barkman with Verlo Mattress, and I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. Thank you for joining us, audience, and come back next week where we talk about client acquisition. Once you become a business owner, how do you get customers? Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.
Thank you, Anna.